Meadows was last seen in the early evening hours of December the 26th, 2008 by the staff at the nursing home where she was a resident. She left the home and has not been seen since. She was wearing a navy blue t-shirt with a Harley Davidson emblem on the front, blue jeans, and black flip-flops. Beverly has serious health issues and is in need of her medication. It was around 6 p.m. when, within the facility at 207 West Merritt Street, Marshall, Texas, that she was last seen. It is believed that between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. she removed the identification bracelet that she was required to wear, which activates the nurses when it gets near the doors because an alarm goes off. She walked away from the Community Cares nursing home without taking any of her personal belongings. Meadows had lived in the nursing home for about 6 years prior to her disappearance. Her mother says she's called morgues, hospitals, jails, and put up posters over the years asking for help. Officials say DNA samples have been collected and given to the University of North Texas Health Sciences Center in Fort Worth. That way they are entered into a nationwide database which is used for comparison purposes with unidentified bodies or skeletal remains across the United States. The holidays have come and gone many years, but they have not been the same for Liz Lingenfelter since her daughter, Beverly Meadows, went missing the day after Christmas in 2008, days away from Beverly's birthday, which is New Year's Eve. For years, I have not celebrated Christmas or anything, Liz told the news messenger in a telephone interview. Getting through Christmas is like horror, she said. It's just the hardest thing I've ever done. I try to pretend they don't come, Liz said of the holidays. I don't buy any presents. I don't cook anything for Christmas. I just wait. It may not be fair to my other two kids, but they understand that I just can't celebrate until I know she's okay, the mother said. She was just such a special person. I know she wasn't a child, but she was such a wonderful person. She was my first little child, Liz said, sharing that Beverly was born on a Air Force base in Del Rio. The mother said most people think she's crazy for continuing the search, but she's not giving up. As long as I don't know where she's at, I have to hope that she's okay, said Liz. What keeps her going is the notion that her daughter is just out there some being taken care of by somebody and that she needs help. That's what she would do. She would help others take care of people. I don't know if anybody would help her, but Lord, I can't give up, says Liz. Liz said she keeps in touch through the years with Marshall Police, hoping for a breakthrough. Clayton, part of the police force, has previously told the news messenger that investigators have followed leads and reached out to many sources for the media for help. The department has also scoured nearby creeks and abandoned properties in hopes of finding Beverly. Unfortunately, they've never seen her on no leads have panned out or confirmed sightings. Liz says she's not giving up either, however, until there's a resolution. There are still too many unanswered questions, and I hope someday we will know what happened to my daughter, Liz says. Until then, I will keep searching for her and praying that she is okay, and that I will see her again, and so I can hug her and tell her how much I love her, Liz said. Because of her daughter's age, most people seem to lose interest and don't want to hear her plea for help. But she says, what if it was your daughter that was missing? How would you feel? Throughout the decades, Liz has searched tirelessly for her daughter to no avail. My late husband and I, she says, we drove thousands of miles, sharing how they racked up over 200,000 miles on her old Blazer in search of her daughter. I couldn't give up, and I still can't give up, Liz says. I refuse to say she's gone. It hurts too much. She's says that she's checked many abandoned houses herself, even in Marshall and the surrounding areas. She's looked in the woods, ditches, dumpsters, and old abandoned vehicles. She's also been in touch with many companies and also ones that demolish vehicles, asking if they could check in the trunks before they destroy them. Liz said she's believed that she's still out there, and she purchases balloons for Beverly's birthday and other special days over the years, releasing them with attached messages in hopes to receive a sign someday. Time passes by, she says, but the pain of not having Beverly here, it doesn't go away, she said. Needless to say, my eyes have seen a lot and my vehicle is worn out, so I can no longer check the roads. My heart is broken into a million pieces, and I don't think that I can ever put them back together again. I miss my daughter so very much. She is such a good, kind-hearted person, and she would help anyone needing help. Liz said she still visits her daughter's home that sits right next to Beverly's brother's residence. She says, I go out there all the time and I try to keep it up. It's just tough, she said. She was just so happy-go-lucky, carefree, but she cared about her home. She loved her little animals, she said, sharing how the animals would trail up behind her when they would see her drive up. They mean a lot to her. In addition to maintaining Beverly's home, Liz also keeps the same landline she's had for years so that her daughter would know that she's just a phone call away. People say to get rid of the phone line, and she says no, that's the telephone number she has, the number she would call me on, so I would never have it disconnected, Liz said. Liz used to put a penny in a jar every single day to keep track of the number of days that Beverly has been missing. She says she's got so many people. Oh my God, she says people think I'm crazy. Liz, if I see one on the floor somewhere, she picks it up and she says that her daughter left that for her. She said, I can't walk over that penny. She left it for me to put it in her jar for her, Liz says. Liz also has kept a reminder of days gone by noting them on a calendar. She noted that a reward has been offered for information leading to the resolution of the case. Liz urges anyone with information to please contact the local authorities. If you hear anything, she says, please, she's begging and pleading that she wants her daughter's voice to still be heard and she wants her to be found. I just don't want anyone to forget that my daughter is still missing, she says, and we are still searching for her and for any information about her disappearance, Liz says. Marshall Police Department Public Information Officer Kelly Cullen echoed her sentiments, urging the public to alert the police if they see any of the missing MPD persons cases or receive any information on their whereabouts. He said, anytime that we can get pictures and cases shared again, we have a better chance of jogging somebody's memory that might help solve a case. We realize that most of these happened quite a while ago, but want to remind citizens that no detail or tip is too small. Meadows has relatives living in Shreveport, Louisiana, Florin, Louisiana, and Eisenfields, Texas, but no family in Marshall. She had previously lived in the 700th block of Marshall Lane off Farm to Market 31 in Ellsland Fields. Her mother, who lives 15 miles from the nursing home, believes that Meadows was trying to walk to her residence, and her case still remains unsolved. Beverly Lofton Meadows is a white female, and she was born on December the 31st, 1959. She is 5 feet 3 inches tall and weighed approximately 240 pounds, with graying brown hair and brown eyes, and she has a small mole under her left eye and requires daily medication for her medical ailments. She suffers from insulin-dependent diabetes, asthma, and emotional problems. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Beverly, you can call Marshall Police Department at 903-935-4546 or 903-935-4575. Or if you have any information related to the case and you want to contact the Q Center for Missing Persons, it's 910-343-1131, or you can call the Q Center 24-hour tip line at 910-232-1687. All information submitted to the Q Center for Missing Persons is confidential, and you can also call your local Crime Stoppers if you want to remain anonymous. And the Marshall Police Department is offering a $2,500 reward for anyone with any information leading to the whereabouts of Beverly Meadows.